we are going to learn about elastic collision in one dimension. Before starting this, we will just revise what are actually elastic collisions. So we have learned about two types of collision, elastic collision and inelastic collision. And in elastic collisions, we have seen the momentum as well as kinetic energy is conserved. So we are taking a typical example of that. We are considering two objects A and B having masses m1 and m2 moving with velocities u1 and u2. So here, if u1 is greater than u2, they can collide. So they were moving in the same direction and now they are colliding. After collision, they are moving in the same direction with velocities v1 and v2. This is what we are considering over here. So finally, in this topic, what we will be doing is we will be deriving the expressions, or we will be finding out the velocities attained by the objects after collision. That's the main task over here right now. So I just wrote the introduction, that is consider two elastic bodies A and B of masses m1 and m2 moving with velocities u1 and u2 respectively. Let u1 greater than u2. After some time they collide and they continue to move with velocities v1 and v2 in the same direction. Now, so let us apply the concepts of conservation of energy and conservation of momentum. Conservation of energy means specifically I have to tell kinetic energy, conservation of kinetic energy. So we are first writing the conservation of momentum. So according to the law of conservation of momentum, the total momentum before collision, that is m1 u1 plus m2 u2 will be equal to m1 v1 plus m2 v2. m1 v1 plus m2 v2 is the final momentum, that is the momentum after collision. So this can be rearranged. I'm writing it like taking the m1 terms to one side. So this can be written as m1 into u1 minus v1 is equal to m2 into v2 minus u2. If you want, you can name these equations. Let this be 1, let this be 2. Okay. And this is according to conservation of momentum. And now we'll have to consider the conservation of kinetic energy. According to conservation of kinetic energy, when you're considering total kinetic energy before collision will be equal to total kinetic energy after collision. So total kinetic energy before collision will be equal to half m1 u1 square plus half m2 u2 square. This will be the total kinetic energy before collision. That will be equal to the total kinetic energy after collision, which will be equal to half m1 v1 square plus half m2 v2 square. This equation we can name as equation number 3, and we can see the half can be cancelled, and this also I'm rearranging just like the way we have done in equation number 2, that is taking the terms of m1 to one side. So now when I'm rearranging, this will become m1 into u1 square minus v1 square is equal to m2 into v2 square minus u2 square. Let this be equation number 4. As I told you in the beginning, in this discussion, what we are trying to do is we are trying to find the final velocities of the objects after collision. That is what we are trying to do. So once we know the final velocity is actually, so we will be able to identify the type of collision. Otherwise, we will be able to identify how the objects will be behaving after collision. So that is the basic purpose of that. So now we have to solve these equations and get the values of V1 and V2. And the known values are M1 we know, M2 you know. Similarly, the initial velocities we are knowing. So what we can do is, we can divide this equation number 4 with equation number 2. You can see that M1 will get cancelled, M2 also will get cancelled, and it's in the form of U1 square minus V1 square. We'll write the step. U1 square minus V1 square divided by U1 plus V1. And the other side we are having V2 square minus U2 square divided by V2 minus U2. You can see this is in the form of A square minus B square by A plus B. And A square minus B square is A plus B into A minus B. So using the identity when we are solving, we can get it as equal to U1 minus V1 is equal to V2 minus U2. So this is an intermediate equation. In a way, we can tell that what we got over here right now, or we can get into another concept. That is, I'm just rearranging in a different form. I'm writing it as, I'm writing it as U1 minus U2 is equal to V2 minus V1. V2 minus V1. So this left-hand side, that is what you're having is U1 minus U2, can be considered as relative velocity of, so this is relative velocity of A with respect to B before collision. And similarly, the other side we can tell that's a relative velocity of B with respect to A after collision. Or else, I can tell it like this way, the relative velocity of approach. So the relative velocity when these particles are coming together. So the relative velocity of approach is equal to the relative velocity of separation. Okay, now let that be there. Now we will try to solve the equation. That is, as I told you, finally we want to get the value of V1 and V2. That's what we are trying for. So what can be done is, we'll take the first equation. In this equation, we will substitute the value of V2. And that is, we'll substitute the value of V2 from, let me name this equation. Let this be equation number 5. And this be equation number 6. So we will solve for V2 from here. That is from equation number 6 if I'm taking. I can write V2 equals U1 minus U2 plus V1. And now this equation, what we got right now, that's the expression for V2. I'm going to put in the first equation. First equation means the one we wrote as the equation of conservation of momentum. So let me just rewrite the expression once again. So what we were having is M1U1 plus M2U2 is equal to M1V1 plus M2V2. And now in the place of V2, I will substitute this U1 minus U2 plus V1. Now, we'll have to solve it for V1 right now. Okay. It looks slightly lengthy, but it's easy. So first I have to open the bracket. It is M1V1 plus M2U1 minus M2U2 plus M2V1. This side it is M1U1 plus M2U2. What we will do is the terms containing V1, that is this and this, let this be here. The other terms will take to the other side. So it will come out to be, now I'm taking this and this term together and I'll keep that U1 outside. So I can write it as equal to M1 minus M2U1. Now I'm going to take this and this term together. So that will become 2M2U2 plus 2M2U2 is equal to, now the terms of V1, the ticked ones, that is this and this, that I can write as V1 into M1 plus M2. That's it. Now just solve for V1. So you can write V1 is equal to M1 minus M2 into U1 divided by M1 plus M2 plus 2M2U2 divided by M1 plus M2. So we got the expression for V1. That is the expression for V1. Now in a similar way, we can also get the expression for V2. To get the expression for V2, what we should do is we have to substitute for V1. That is, we need to substitute that if I'm taking from equation number 7. So this, let me name this equation before that. From equation number 7, we can write V1 equals U1 minus U2 no, better let me write it as V1 is equal to V2 minus U1 plus U2. And this equation again, if we are substituting in the first one, that is M1U1 plus M2U2 is equal to M1V1. That is, we have to replace in the place of V1. So if you're solving like that way, let me just do it. So it will become M1U1 plus M2U2 equals M1 into V2 minus U1 plus U2 plus M2V2. And again, the same way we have done, we have to rearrange the terms and solve it for V2. So we will get the expression for V2 as equal to, in a way you can remember like this way, the terms that 1 and 2 will get interchanged. So that will become M2 minus M1 into U2 divided by M1 plus M2 plus 2M1 U1 divided by M1 plus M2. That will be the expression for V2. So one of the equation if you're doing, the other one in a similar way, you can get it. So these are the final expressions. And once again, we'll have a quick revision, the steps involved in this. So this is, let it be equation number 9. So what we have done mainly think, first of all, we are considering an elastic collision, two objects moving in the same direction with velocities u1 and u2 collide each other, and after collision they move in the same direction with velocities v1 and v2. And first we took conservation of momentum. According to law of conservation of momentum, we have written the equation. Then according to conservation of kinetic energy, we have written the equations. And then we rearranged the terms and divided one equation by the other equation, as you can see over here, this particular step. And then the expression we have solved, and we took the value of v1 and v2 and substituted the original equation for the conservation of momentum and solved. So these are the final expression we are getting for v1 and v2. And now one more part is there in this, that is the special cases. That is, under certain conditions, what will be the values of the velocities we have to do. That we will do as the next video.